Nicole. Thank you for coming today.
Thank you for having me.
I am
excited.
so excited.
No, trust me, I'm super excited.
I'm so excited about today because this is our very first episode.
Oh, really?
Of Women Uncensored. So thank you for agreeing to come.
Oh, I feel so special now.
No, you should. You should.
First episode.
You should.
That's really good.
And the reason why you should feel great about it is because Women Uncensored is about the woman who makes mistakes, but it's also about the woman who understands where she's going.
Right.
So, and I've known you for quite a while now.
Yes.
So the fact that I've had a few encounters with you, I was just like, I really was hoping women could hear what I hear when I'm with you.
Right.
They could feel what I feel when I'm with you. No, seriously. and
you.
It's just been fantastic. I mean, we've known each other for a couple of years now. And you always just give off this positive energy.
Thank you.
And you make everything seem like it's easy. But I know that, today we might just find out a couple of things as to maybe I might have the wrong, impression.
Right.
So yeah, so the very first thing I'm going to ask you today is,
give it to me.
You make motherhood look so easy.
Okay.
You do.
Thank you.
But do you have any struggles at all?
Of course I do. I think that anyone who says that motherhood isn't a struggle is lying. It's a struggle, it's difficult.
Yes.
Some days are easier than some.
Yeah.
Some days are very difficult.
I agree.
I try to stay organized and have a plan, but you know how life is. You know, sometimes the plan just does not work.
It doesn't work.
And children are not trying to cooperate with your
They're
plan.
not.
Like your little plan is cute.
It's like sometimes
your plan is cute, but they're gonna do what they want to do. So I find motherhood very rewarding, but I find it very challenging.
Yes.
I'm not like an Insta mom. Like I'm not one of those moms.
But we think you are.
No, I'm really. And the thing is, I don't want people to think that. Like I want people to look at like my social media or hear from me and know that it is a struggle. You can only do your best. Like I'm one of those people who just takes it one day at a time, and I just try and do my best for that day.
Yes.
You know, and if I can get my kids to bed, they've eaten, maybe they're halfway clean, they've managed to do whole. I'm just like, great, today was a successful day.
We made it today.
We made it. And then we'll face tomorrow's battles tomorrow. So I'm definitely that kind of mom. I don't want moms to feel under pressure to be perfect. I don't think there's any such thing as a perfect mom.
Yeah.
I think that
we've got a few though on social media. that they look perfect.
Yeah. But
so what do you think? You don't think they are?
No, I don't. And I think that people also. But I'm not even mad at moms who portray like perfection on Instagram because social media, is to show like the highlights. Like people just show like the highlights of their lives on social media, and maybe they don't want to show the low lights or the not so great bits, and that's okay.
Yes.
But what's important is that people are also aware that these are just the highlights. This isn't every day. This is just a good moment the whole day. Yes. So it's just for people to be aware that
it's true. I
just to have that back of your mind.
I've got about two comments now from family members and a friend, and they were like, Fiona, like, you just seem like you're living the high life.
But you do though.
Really?
Yeah,
My page
really
portrays that.
Yeah,
so I need to make an effort to show you guys when me and the kids are fighting.
Yeah,
literally.
Exactly. Or you don't look like perfect. You know, and I mean, you're not walking around at 9 a.m. in the morning with lashes on. You know, like it's just so I just try and keep it. I try my best to keep it as real as possible. And I found that I think because of that, that's why a lot of people try and like
they can relate.
Yeah, they can relate or kind of gravitate towards me, which is great. I just want to keep it as real.
Oh no, that's why you're here. That's why we have you here. I think as well, like what I noticed was whether it's your Instagram stories or your main page, your feed is. We're getting the realness, We've got you sweating. We've got you like
no makeup,
very fat, and we've got you,
and then you have me when I'm beat as well.
Yes.
Like, so it's just,
it's a good balance.
Thank you.
So I hope women are listening to this, and we can keep in mind. I usually keep it real, mainly on the stories, because I know 24 hours after it's gone. If you didn't see it,
that's your business.
No, but yeah, definitely, that's a very good point. I'm definitely learning from this, so I hope a lot of women as well have picked up on that. And then I'm very curious as well. You're raising 2 girls now, right?
Yes, 2 girls.
You're raising 2 beautiful girls.
Yes,
at
they're
that
so
as well.
amazing. Yeah.
Oh, they are delicious.
No,
right?
they really are. They really are.
But I'm just like looking at how the woman of today is, or let me be particular. Looking at the Nigerian woman, of today.
Right.
I could even narrow it down to Lagos or Abuja, but let's not go that far.
Okay.
But looking at the woman of today, what are your thoughts moving forward as a mother of 2 daughters? First of all, what's your opinion? What do you think about the environment right now relating to women? I want to hear about the positive and the negative as well.
Okay, so the positive is that women are kind of coming into their own, I feel. I feel like women have become much more independent. They are definitely voicing their opinions now. I think that women are not afraid to speak. I feel like women are taking charge of their lives. And that's really, really encouraging. It's really, really encouraging. Like, I love it, you know, that we are now in a place where we are growing from underneath our hiding behind our titles as wives or moms or daughters of. We don't have to be this of. We don't have to be wife of or daughter of or spouse of or girlfriend of or side chick of. We can just we can just be. And, you know, I love that we're heading in that direction. It's super encouraging. You know, I'm really trying to raise some strong, independent women.
Yes, we're trying to raise some virtuous women.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, obviously, in terms of our morality, we are probably not in the best place. I feel like women are just misinformed.
Yes.
And I think that the more we have these conversations and the more, you know, we just in general have these talks and listen to one another, we'd find that there's just a lot of misinformation out there. And I think that that's why I love what you're doing, because it's an opportunity for women to hear things from a different perspective. Because, you know, we live in the world, and the world tells you that women have to be a certain way, or, you know, you have to dress a certain way, you have to be appealing to men. You know, what's important is your outward appearance, and what's important is what you have the latest shoes, have the latest bags. That's how people will know that you're on and you're popping. And so, you know, those are the things that we feed ourselves, and, you know, you start to think that these are the things that define me as a woman, but these things are empty. They do not define you. The number one thing that defines you, apart from, like I had said, being a wife of or a daughter of or a girlfriend of, is I am a child of God.
I'm a child of God.
Right? So that in itself is my main defining marker. And because of that, I am complete and I am fulfilled, and I am valid, and I don't need all these other things that the world tells me that I need to make me know that I am enough. So I just think we are just misinformed. We're misinformed. So I'm just hoping, I'm hoping that more and more conversations like this can happen, so that we can hear these things and not be striving towards the wrong
things. Definitely. So now moving forward and understanding that, okay, women are not pushing to the best that they can be. Or maybe sometimes you might get a woman who's doing so great in terms of her career, but when it comes to her relationships, she has a part to play in that. Then we've got like this new massive thing that's happening where women, you know, single women, married women, all sorts of women are either having affairs. There's a lot of most people don't want to call it prostitution. I mean, what we call it in Nigeria, runs, right? Yes, you've got runs, and so bringing up your daughters in this kind of environment, like, what are you planning to do about that, and what do you have plan behind your sleeve that a mother who's raising a daughter can pick up on and say, okay, fine, I want to jump on that bandwagon?
Okay, so the number one thing is obviously it begins from home.
Yes.
So the first thing I would say is children emulate what they see.
Okay.
So I feel like if you are obsessed with certain things,
yes,
your children will pick up on that. And if you're living a life that is super flashy,
yes,
unnecessarily flashy, there's nothing wrong with being rich. I mean, God is the giver of wealth, right?
Yes,
it's a great thing to be, to enjoy the trappings of wealth, but then there can also be the emphasis on the wrong things at home, and I feel like children pick up on that. And if they are not grounded, and if they don't know that, okay, these things are great, but they are not the most important thing. What's important is your character.
Yes.
What's important is the way you treat people and you relate to people. Then you are already off to a bad start. So I'm hoping that I'm able to show my children from the way that I'm personally living my life that the trappings of wealth are great.
Yes.
But there are things that are meant to be, they're just things.
Yes.
And they're empty. You know, and these are not the things that really validate you. So that's the first thing I would say from living my own life the best way that I can.
Yes.
Of course, like a formation in faith is so important.
Very, very. I was about to ask you about that.
So it's very, very, very important to me that my children grow up in the Catholic faith and the Christian faith in general, and are able to imbibe those ideals into their daily lives.
Okay.
There isn't much you can do in terms, you can't shield them forever. They have to enter the world.
Yes.
So all they would have as their ammunition is what you've taught them, what the church has taught them, what they've been surrounded by, things that they've picked up from being at home. So that is my plan. It's not a perfect plan. I just need to do my best and leave the rest to God, and just be like, look, God,
because
I
I'm pretty sure even like moms now who have their daughters out say in the streets, I'm pretty sure some of these women prayed hard and they really tried their best and whatnot. And so sometimes I find myself asking myself, what is happening? Why are things going so wrong? I mean, things were bad before, but now it's everything doing wrong is now being accepted by our communities, and we don't frown upon it anymore. It's not being celebrated, right?
Right. So I don't know. I just think that obviously there's been an ideological shift in the an ideological shift in the way women should behave, and a cultural shift as well, which has been good because it's also freed women up to be their own person, but at the same time, maybe it has gone a little bit too far in certain areas and certain things. So I don't know. I think it's just, again, it's really just down to do the best that you can. I try not to worry too much about things I don't have control over. So I can only focus on doing my own part.
Oh, wow. Yes.
Yeah, I can only focus on doing my own part.
But if let's say now you have someone out there that's listening to you now, that's maybe feeling like the only way she can make it, the only way she can be successful, the only way she can make it, maybe cross over to the virtuous woman, because most of these girls sometimes are doing these things and they're like, I'll only do it for a period of time, and once things are okay, I'll stop doing it. I'll stop following married men. I'll stop following all these sugar daddies or whatever it is that we want to call it.
Right.
If there's a girl listening to you and she just wants to maybe hear some sort of hope, or what's your advice? What's your advice towards that? It's a tough one.
It's a tough one.
Yes.
I would say remember that your validation comes from it doesn't come from what you have, it comes from who you are already.
Wow, that's powerful, yes.
So I think that, you don't be afraid.
Yes.
Don't be afraid. You are who you are, and you are enough as it is.
Yes.
You are already enough, and do not compromise yourself.
Yes.
for things that are already, like, these things are fleeting and empty. The thing is, and you'll find that, especially when you're kind of going about things the wrong way, that the more you have, it just seems to go quickly, and you just find yourself in this cycle. It doesn't last. It's not something you can hang on to. So I would just say, know your worth. Know that your value is determined by who you already have so much value. These other things are empty. They're nothing.
Ladies,
they're nothing
I hope
compared to the gem that you are. So
ladies, know your worth. Know who you are. I absolutely love that. I love the fact that you're making us understand that there's a lot of emptiness in it all. You know? I mean, they look very happy. These ladies look very happy and very glamorous, right? But there is something missing. There's an emptiness. And I'm guessing that most of the times they're facing this on their own. They're going through this on their own. So that there's loneliness in that as well, right? So, you know, no, I'm really, really happy that you're not, you're being uncensored right now. You're not holding anything back at all. Okay, so the next thing I want to find out is how you're juggling everything. You've got Shrimp Kitchen, NG, and then you know, I've tasted your food. It's excellent. I could not believe it that I was eating something this yummy and it was good for me. You know, so I really hope, like, you know, that continues. You know, and then we've looked at your exercising methods. You've also got, I think we've talked about intermittent fasting, and tell us a bit more about, like, your health and whatnot. Tell us how that works.
Okay, so the main thing I've been working on in the last year or so is a weight loss and wellness plan. Which is, there's TK method and there's TK Mama. TK Mama is for moms.
That's the first time I'm hearing about
this.
Really?
So TK Mama is like the first one. Like it's specifically designed for newborn moms. So obviously your nutritional needs are different when you just had a baby, and your workouts are I mean, you can't really work out with TK Mama. Thank you. I'm glad you do. So yes, it's a weight loss and wellness program because weight loss is fantastic, but we're looking at overall wellness. So we do like yummy food plans, like a 4-week food plan. We do an exercise plan, tips and tricks for dieting and keeping your metabolism high, and just tips for wellness. Things you can do for your skin as well, because what you eat and drink does impact your skin. So it's just like an overall wellness thing for
Quick
women.
one though, like, I am very pro breastfeeding. You know, so is that still possible with all this?
Of course. With I breastfed exclusively for 6 months. So
that is amazing. That is amazing.
No, I know you breastfeed for like 3 years.
No.
So, you don't even say anything. So, but I made it to 6 months and it's exclusive.
No, that's
and I'm so proud of myself. So yeah, I mean, I'm very big on breastfeeding as well. Obviously, breast is best.
And it can be tough, you know. I think it's very important for us to make this very clear. Breastfeeding can be one of the toughest things, and some of us do actually decide to not do it at all because sometimes, of course, it's medical reasons, and it's very important for us to make women understand that it's not a must that you have to do it, or you shouldn't feel terrible because you can't do it. But you know, for me, I also looked at it, but because I didn't have any medical reasons not to, it made life a bit cheaper for me, especially in those first couple of months.
It really makes,
so you're saying that, you know, this is something that they can still do with the diet plans as well.
Of course. You know, people are misinformed and they feel like if you are eating healthy, or rather, if you want to breastfeed, then you need to be eating so much food so that the milk can really come out. But that's not
right,
true. No, it's incorrect. It's incorrect. So what's
I
important
ate a lot. I blew up. Oh my goodness.
What's important is the quality of food and keeping your fluid intake high as well. There are certain things that we can do to make sure that your lactation is not affected at all.
I really wish I knew this, because I gained so much weight and it took me months almost a year to lose it with my first baby.
Right.
And then the second time, I was just like, you know, I almost gave up. So I really wish that this was in place then.
Right.
So I could just do a snapback.
Exactly.
Talking of snapbacks, I don't even know if some people have seen this before, but your snapbacks are, can I just be honest with you? If I didn't know you one-on-one, I would actually think that it's unreal.
Right.
If I didn't see you after you'd had your babies, shortly after you'd had your babies, and then maybe sometimes I see you maybe 2 weeks after, and I'm like, I just sat down with you the other day.
Right.
How did this happen? What's the magic behind that?
So this was, the thing is, it's funny because they tell you, oh, it's your third baby that's going to get you. Because they're like, oh yeah, you know, the first is fine, you snap back, you know, everything is, you know, second is a little bit harder, but the third one's going to get you. Third one is over.
It's over.
But with my third baby, it was actually, I found this to be my quickest recovery so far. And I think that's because I went in with, I already had a plan in place. So I wasn't trying to figure it out when I'd had the baby, and I'm not like, okay, where do I start? Because the thing is, when you've just had a baby, it's so overwhelming, right? You're already so exhausted and you're so mentally drained. So now start thinking about where to start, how to start eating healthy is quite difficult. So just having the plan, because TK Mama was ready before, I was working on it while I was pregnant. So I already had it ready. You know, before I went into labor, I knew exactly what I was going to buy, what food was going to be in the house. So as soon as I get back from the hospital, I can start. And I think just getting into it straight out the gate was what really, really helped me. I found that with my other pregnancies, I did recover, but it took me a little bit longer because I kind of struggled through the first couple of months because I'm so tired. Then after a while, I'm like, okay, I should probably try and lose weight, but by then, like, I'm already in a momentum. And so, so it just, this time I was ready. And I think that's why my snapback
happened. Like, that was fast. It was really fast. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, so now another thing I wanted to find out is, let us know about your struggles. Like, what are some of the things, you as an individual, you're a beautiful woman, and you're very humble, by the way, you know. One of the reasons I really wanted to have a sit down with you is, I was hoping that women out there would really get to appreciate how humble you are, you know.
Thank you.
You are. I mean, there's some pretty girls, like, you know, if they look at somebody else, there's, you know, there's attitude, but you're very, very humble. Let's first of all find out where that humility comes from. Is it your upbringing or you as a person? What is it? Share with us.
I don't know. I would say my upbringing, definitely. My mom was not playing around with myself or my sister, my younger, but she was not playing around. You know, she made sure that we were super grounded. We had to speak to people a certain way. Even if we had 100 staff in the house, we had to speak and address our staff a certain way. We had to greet them properly. If you want something, you have to ask for it properly. You know, so that really, really helped me. But then I think what also helps is an inherent confidence that I have in myself.
And where did that come from?
I would say a lot of it has to do with my dad. My dad is like my boyfriend. my dad is my boyfriend. And from when I was a child, you know, he constantly poured words and spoke words of affirmation over me, from when I was from as far back as when I was like 3 or so. I can remember, you know, him telling me, you know, you're so smart, you're so beautiful, there's nothing you cannot do, put your mind to it. He was that sort of person for the longest time. I remember, like, around when I was 6, it was in the news that Mariah Carey had insured her legs for $1 million.
Wow.
So my dad had told me that he was going to get my legs insured for $1 million when I was 6. Yes, he did. So I mean, I didn't really know what insurance meant. And I knew, okay, $1 million, that's probably a lot of money. So he said he was going to do that. So literally from age 6 to about age 15, I really thought that my legs were insured for $1 million. I'm
so what age?
15. 15. So I
15?
Yeah, 15. I'm not even playing, I genuinely thought that my legs were insured for $1 million. So having that in the back of my mind, right? Like I breezed through secondary school because I really just felt like, listen, like look, my legs are what?
I hope you didn't go around saying that.
No, I didn't go around saying it because I mean I didn't want anyone to feel bad that their legs weren't insured.
Yeah, okay, but because your mom raised you right.
Yeah, exactly. So I need to have my mom for that. But I grew up so confident because of him, you know, and I'm so lucky. It's so funny that they say, you know, girls grow up to marry their fathers.
Yes.
Because, you know, I knew I wanted to be married to someone who would be able to do that for my daughters as well. Because I know how important it is to speak those words over a girl, to continue to reassure her and reaffirm her and, you know, just push her to make her believe in herself, because I've always believed in myself. So I also want the same thing for my daughters. And I think it's that self-confidence that helps me stay humble, because I find that people who are prideful have insecurities. And it's those insecurities that make them project this, you know, and throughout this
different persona.
Exactly. To who they really are and their insecurities that they may have. I find that the people who are truly confident in themselves and accept themselves, good, bad, ugly, whatever, but have like have a real innate confidence, you will find that they are the most humble people. You'll find that the people who are loudest, like, you know, the most rah 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 rah. There's something there. There's an insecurity there. So.
Oh wow. Okay. So actually, that leads me to my next question, which is, you're married to someone who is very, very talented, right? You're married to Naeto C, and how is it being married to this superhuman, like you said? I mean, you said you managed to find someone who's got like a similar personality to your dad.
Right.
Yes.
So, I mean, Naeto's like he's the best thing since
Don't stop crying now, okay?
No, I won't cry. I won't cry. If I cry, who's watching this like, well,
what are you doing? What are you doing?
Get it together. No, I'm not gonna cry, but you know, speaking about Naeto makes me really emotional. Because, you know, he is the best husband and father I could have even prayed for. And, you know, I'm just so thankful to God, because I definitely was not praying when I met him. I wasn't, you know, I wasn't praying. I met him, and, you know, we fell in love, and it was fantastic, and then we got married. And I'm so grateful to God that everything that I didn't even pray for, but God gave to me. You know? It's just his grace, because I could have made the wrong decision because I was not preparing, and I wasn't doing the things I should have done, you know, but God was so faithful. And he's literally the best husband and father I could have prayed for.
That's amazing.
It's true. So it's been great. He's very humble. He's also very humble. I think, so when I get questions about what it's like being married to a celebrity and celebrity life, he's not like that at all. Like anyone who meets him knows Naeto is very humble. He's like the most introverted.
Very, very introverted.
The most introverted. So like he's a contradiction. But, you know, it makes our household work, because I don't know if I'd be able to deal with someone who's like, you know, champagne parties and this and that.
I mean, you've got a lot of energy as well as an individual.
No, I do, but I also really value family, and I really value my time with him, and you know, it's also very important for me to have someone who's around for our children, and he is so in love with our kids. He spends all the time that he can with them. He's so good with them. So he's amazing. So he doesn't give me no stress. Doesn't give me no he doesn't. You know, he.
And you didn't even pray for him.
And I didn't even pray. Like I met him, and I just thought, wow, this is so amazing. You know, after like conversations we have very similar values. You know, we come from similar backgrounds. We come from the same states. We have similar family backgrounds. Our families know each other.
So your parents didn't set you guys up then?
No, they didn't.
Wow.
They did not. And our parents have known each other from before we were even sort of. You know, so, but they didn't set us up. Yes. And when we met, it was just so organic and natural, you know. So that's how that happened.
He was destined to be with you.
Yeah, no, he definitely was. It doesn't make any sense. We have the same initials. Yeah, N-O-C. Yeah, his name is Naeto Chikwe. I'm Nicole Chikwe. Then I became, so we're both N-O-Cs. Our signatures are almost the same.
That's freaky.
We went to the same school.
Yes.
Went to the same primary school and secondary school. Like, it's just, it's scary. It's actually scary. So it was definitely preordained. But yeah, I didn't pray. Like, you know how, you know, you meet someone and you start to pray for discernment and all of that. Like,
no, some of us had to pray. Like, I prayed. I prayed because, you know, talking of which, marriages nowadays are not lasting long.
Right.
And for me, actually, I needed to pray because I met my husband just like you met your husband. Just, you know, I like you, you like me,
and then let's just
see where this goes. You know, that was one of those things.
Right.
And yes, as grateful as I am for that, I never take it for granted that I had to be prepared stepping into it, to make sure that it was right. You know, so that's you know,
amazing.
Yes, it's
beautiful
amazing
that you did that because you went in there prepared and you had the right foundation. That's
definitely
amazing and important.
So having said the fact that, you know, Naeto is very hands-on, how are you balancing everything though? Because you are quite busy in terms of, you know, being a mother.
Right.
And, you know, you've got a few new things, new projects that you're working on. And, you know, you're doing quite a lot of modeling as well at the moment. So you said, you know, you are someone who likes to be with your family. So how are you balancing that? How do you do it?
I struggle. I find that, you know, when you hear about, you know, women having it all and women being able to have it all, I don't know that I'm able to have it all. I don't know if women can. I don't know if you can have it all at the same time. I think that, you know, there's seasons where I'm fantastic at mothering. Like, I'm killing the mothering game. I am just on point, you know? And then there's some days I forget to pack lunch. Like, you know, there are days where, because I'm so overwhelmed, you know, I'm like, oh, I forgot to do this, or they're supposed to wear pink to school and then someone wears red. You know, just there are times I don't quite
This school self, though.
I know the
like, seriously.
Pink Monday.
Pink Monday.
Green
Life
blue. Thursday.
I was looking for yellow the other day, and I was just,
what is this? You know, so
so
there are times that I don't really get it right, and I find that when I'm working really hard, there's some things that are suffering. When I'm mothering and I'm killing it, the career is suffering a little bit. So I'm never able to have everything at the same time. So I just try my best. I'm also not afraid to ask for help. I have help. Okay, of course, I have nannies that help, and Naeto is so fantastic. He's so hands-on as well. My parents are here. My mom is very involved. And loves them to bits. Thankfully, she lives close by, so she's also quite helpful. So I have help, and
like
I don't
good support system.
I have a good support system. And I think that as women, we try and do everything ourselves because we want to be like, oh, that's super woman.
I'm a super mom.
But yeah, you need help. And there's nothing wrong with needing help. It takes a village to raise a child. It's only nowadays that we feel like we're supposed to do it in isolation. But typically, you know, back in the good old days, it was a community that raised a child. Like, if a child is born the child is born to the village, or the child is born to a community. And so you can wake up in the morning, the child will just be wandering from house to house. Whoever sees the child is going to feed the child that day, and then maybe at 6, the child just stroll back, because it was a community thing. You know, and then we didn't live such isolated lives. But now women are afraid to talk to each other. We're afraid to talk to other people. And so we're increasingly more and more isolated. And so it just makes things, and I understand that because, you know, we are living in different times. You can't just let your child be walking on the street now, you know, and going into people's houses for them to feed them. And,
so we're a lot more cautious now because there's a lot of evil going on.
There is a lot of evil, and it's understandable, but it's a village. It's a village that, you know, is supposed to do it. So build your own village of people that you know, you can trust, and just have that support system if you can.
If you can.
If you can, yeah.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing. So I think having spoken to you, I kind of picked up on the fact that you did talk about Christianity, you did talk about religion. Does this play a massive part in everything that you do? Like, would you say?
I would say yes. My faith is, it's the joy of my life, right? It is the center.
Yes, I've seen it on Instagram.
Exactly.
You know, you've got people who are not Catholics thinking, maybe I should check out this thing.
Yes. Being the church, the Catholic Church, yes, is the joy of my life. Yes. It makes me so happy. So my faith is really, really important to me, and I try my best to make it the focal point in everything that I do, because you're supposed to, you're not supposed to fit God around your life. You're supposed to fit your life around God.
That is so powerful. Please say that again so that they can hear you.
You're not supposed to fit God around your life. You're supposed to fit your life around God. So when you hear things like, I don't have time to go to church, I don't have time to pray, I don't have time, that's you trying to just fit God around your plans. And when I have time here, maybe I'll do this. So if I don't have time, then I'll leave it. So this is your life, and then you're just trying to fit God in wherever you can. And that's not how it's supposed to be. Because God is, He's the master planner. If you just put God at the center, you will find that your life will start to organize itself. You will never be running late. If the days you think, oh, I'm running late and I don't have time to pray, like your whole day from there would just kind of unravel. But I found that when I just say, okay, you know what, I'm going to take this time, no matter what, this is my time for prayer, my day will just be like, it'll just be like clockwork, because God will organize things for you. Things will just fall into place. So I try my best to keep God in the center. I don't always get it right.
Yes, we can't.
I'm still struggling, you know, with like when I'm trying to be nicking the streets.
I love that hashtag. You know, that hashtag is very serious. Nicking the
streets. I'm trying to do all of that, you know. And I look at some of the things I do and some things I say, and I know, okay, in this moment, I haven't put God first, you know. Like, I'll be gisting with someone, and I'm like,
you realize, I should not have said that. I went too far.
I went too far. I didn't put God first there. So I'm working on it. I can only just try my best. I'm not perfect. But that's a wonderful thing about being a child of God, right? It's knowing that you're not perfect and knowing that God loves you anyway. And all you can do is just keep trying.
I mean, you're just even radiating, just speaking about it, just all smiles. You know, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I mean, the struggle is real, though. You know, in terms of what women are going through. Whether you're trying to keep, as you know, a close relationship with God, but then you know, one foot is there and the other foot is in the world, you know, and it keeps, you know, a lot of people are still struggling with it. What would you say to a woman who is still lukewarm? Let's use that word.
Lukewarm, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
What would your advice be?
My advice would be just keep trying. I mean, the Bible says that you should either be hot or cold, right? You should be cold or hot. And like, if you're lukewarm, just spit you out. Like if you're lukewarm, you might as well just be cold, right? So, but lukewarm is a place to start.
Sorry.
It's a place to start, you know, as long as...
And I think we've all been there.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Me, all the time I'm talking about God, wasn't it just how many years ago? Before that, I wasn't even lukewarm. I was cold. I was cold. So lukewarm is even somewhere. So just start with something small. Try and go to a church, you know, try and attend a fellowship or a Bible study.
What if I'm doing all these things but I'm still in the world?
And you're not doing it right. Because anything that God comes into contact with, He transforms. So if you're going to fellowship, Bible study, church, this, that, and the other, but you are still so in the world and you're not changing, then something isn't, you're not doing it right, maybe you should try something else. Because anything that the Holy Spirit comes into contact with, He purifies. So there will be some sort of transformation. You don't have to be perfect. Like I said, I am certainly not perfect. I am certainly not, but I know where I started and I know where I am now, and it can only be God. So it's just to continue to try and then have conversations. I'm a big believer in just conversations, like conversations with other women or other people. For me, my big conversion I didn't have this big aha moment where I woke up and I was like, okay, yes, I'm now holy. Hallelujah. It was from coming into contact with people. I would say that the main thing that even influenced me was watching other people and the way they live their lives and the way that they treated me. They treated me with love and friendship. And I remember looking at certain people and thinking that whatever this is, like I don't even know what this is, but I'm interested, like I want to be like this. I want to be like this. And I've now come to understand that that's like just the love of Christ radiating from someone. So even just being in contact with someone like that, you would find that it would transform you. Because that's how these things go. That's what happened to me. Like I just kept coming into contact with people that they weren't like, oh, let's go for Bible study. You know, all sinners go to hell. You're going to hellfire. You're condemned. It was just natural and easy and was very, very loving. And I remember thinking, whatever this thing is, like I think I want this. Like I want to be like that. And I think, and the reason why I'm saying this is because I think it's important that we who are aware of these things. A lot of us are like, you know, on Instagram, you see a lot of people like, oh, God this, God that, Bible verse every day. That's fantastic. But the way that you really...
God's child.
Exactly. Daughter of the Most High.
Daughter of the Most High. So, you know, Holton, sorry to interrupt you there.
No, good.
You know, I find this so hilarious. Like, some people's Instagram bio or their bios are like, God's child, God's favorite daughter, God's... And I'm like, okay, fine, that is excellent. I mean, you're saying, you're claiming that that's who you are, but their pages are saying, I've seen some people with that, and they're literally half naked on Instagram. You know?
Because Christianity is currently, it's a buzzword. Like, it's hot and it's, you know, it's one of those things that people just say, but which is good, because anyway,
it's better than not.
It's better than nothing. You know, anyway, as long as the gospel's moving and people are talking about it. Listen, ministry has to move.
Like, it has to. We need it to move.
I'm with it, but what really converts people is you and the way you behave and the way you speak to people and treat people. And so it's important to always carry that in the back of your mind, that you're supposed to be representing Christ. Right? And you're in the world and you're not of the world. And you're just supposed to, so when people see you, they should somewhat come in contact with Christ, at least an aspect of Christ, at least let them meet you and encounter love, or meet you and encounter faith, or meet you and you give them hope. You know, not just to be on Instagram, you know, doing Bible verses, and then in real life you're a horrible person.
A horrible person, yes, it's true. It's true. I think, you know what, I think you have covered the basics of who Nicole is. Right. You know, because this is about you, Nicole Uncensored. And I hope my questions were able to cover a lot of people's questions out there.
I hope so too. And then, you know, just if you have any other questions, of course, people can leave like comments and things like that.
And we will definitely put your social media handle on here so that they can ask anything you need to ask.
Right.
Actually, before you go, I would love you to just do a little summary of where imagine you're talking to a young girl who has not lost her way. She's trying to find her way.
Right.
Just, you know, do me a favor, look into the camera and talk to this girl and just tell her something that could be life-changing for her life.
Dear young girl, you are enough. You are valuable. You are worthy. Do not let the world confuse you or make you feel like you are less than. You are amazing. stay focused on yourself. What's important is your character. What's important is that you have that awareness of who you are, and you are a child of God. So that's the main thing I would say. You know, speak to whoever you need to speak to. You know, there are so many women that are looking for people to even engage with and encounter, and just open up and have a conversation. I think for me, the world would be a better place, and then women in particular, we can be better if we just talk to each other and not see each other as competition, but as sisters or someone who can help me. So let's not fight each other, let's like build each other up. But dear young girl, you are enough.
Oh, wow.
Amen.
Amen to that. Amen. That was so powerful.
Thank you.
Nicole, thank you so much for making out the time to sit with us and to talk to us. And my prayer is that God will continue to do these amazing things in your life.
Amen.
And that you will fulfill purpose. I'm a big person who believes in fulfilling purpose, because a lot of us are living, but we don't even know why we're here. We just believe, you know, after you're married or you have the kids, you know, and you're happy, that's all it's about. So my prayer is that you will fulfill purpose.
Amen.
In the mighty name of Jesus.
Amen.
Thank you very much for joining us. Everybody that has been able to see this video, I hope that you were blessed today. I hope that you have learned a lot from Nicole. She has been a blessing in my life, and it's been a pleasure having her as my first guest on the show. But if you are a lady that's maybe going through some difficult times, if you are a young lady that is lost, you're confused, you need someone to talk to, please do not hesitate to reach out. All the information will be put in our social media platforms as well, so that if you need to talk to someone, we can point you in the right direction, and we're happy as well to talk to you no matter what. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for watching us, and God bless you all. Thank you. This is Fiona Uncensored, and it was with Nicole Uncensored today.
Yes.
Bye. Bye.
That was